There we go. Okay. We're nice and centered. Everything is lined up. Oh, and I just want to say hello, Alex, that I love you. And I'm hoping that in these times where maybe we're needing to calm down, to find our center, to find our alignment, that you can hold in your heart that we are all, every person on this planet, including the people in your lives who support you, are doing their best. We are all just here doing our best. And sometimes that can be messy or frustrating or painful. But we have to choose to root down into that trust that everything is going to be okay. And that each one of us is just trying our hardest to support you and love you. That's my wish for you, to take away that from this practice. So we're going to focus on finding some calm in the storm of life. Finding that smooth transition, even when there's bumps in the roads. And owning like that you are held and you are loved always through this, that you have people in your life that care about you and are committed to you. That's so important to remember. You're not doing this work alone. You have a team of people who love you and are here to support and hold you and help you through these times. So let's come to the mat. And today we're going to run through a restorative practice. So I have a bolster here. If you're at home and you don't have a bolster, you could use just a few pillows stacked on top of each other. I have 2 blankets here, and I have 2 blocks. And if you don't have blocks, you could use boxes, like tissue boxes, or more pillows or books. All great options. Really, anything that will help lift the earth to you. And in this restorative practice today, what we're going to focus on is finding the calm. Sometimes there can be bumps in the road of life. Sometimes the storms can be raging. And in the midst of all of that, how do we find that alignment in ourselves, trusting that we are loved and cared for, and that we are all human beings just doing our best? And trusting that, holding that in our hearts. So to get started, just gonna find a comfortable seated position. So that could be here in Sukhasana, or another traditional yoga pose is Virasana, diamond legs, where you're just like sitting right on the feet. But either or, if you're in either of those poses and the knees are feeling sensitive, you can take a block to lift the hips up. So if you're in diamond, you'd sort of put that block sideways and sit on top of it, which is what I'm going to do today. So wherever you are, sinking down, finding a comfortable seated position, feeling that connection to the earth deepen and supporting you as you begin to extend through the crown of the head, imagining a little bit of space in between each vertebrae as you lift taller. Taking a nice big deep breath in through the nose. And exhale to melt those shoulders down the back body. Hands can come to rest comfortably on the thighs. And as you're ready, allowing the eyes to soften by finding a focal point just a little bit in front of you on the earth, or closing them all the way, if that feels safe to you. Beginning to bring your awareness to the breath, in and out of the nose. breathing in a deep sense of calm and trust, and exhaling back out any anxiety or stress, frustration or anger, any negativity that's lingering in your body. Release that with the exhale. Continuing to breathe in that love, that trust, that calm, that serenity. And exhaling out anything that's blocking you from accepting all of that trust and love. Continuing with this breath, elongating the exhale until it's twice as long as the inhale. Squeezing every last drop of that breath out so that the next breath can be fresh and buoyant and new without any lingering old feelings from the previous breath. Clearing the space with the breath. And as you continue to breathe in this calming breath, imagine that you're breathing into that heart space and that it's beginning to radiate out into the whole body, knowing that you are held and loved on this journey. Knowing in your heart of hearts that we are all doing our best here and that it is a process. There will be days where we get it right, and there will be days that are harder, where we have to offer ourselves and each other loving compassion. Breathing deep here, knowing that everything is as it should be. And as you're ready, returning to a natural state of breathing and allowing yourself the opportunity to check in and see the effects of what just a few minutes of intentional breath work can offer you. When you're ready, allowing the eyelids to flutter back open, returning to the space around you. If you're on a prop, lifting those hips up off the earth, you can keep it where you are if you'd like, or you can choose to move it out of the way. Wherever you are though, however you're seated, I want you to extend your pointer finger and your middle finger, making like peace hands, extending them out at either side of you, letting those fingers touch the earth and grounding down. Taking 3 deep mindful breaths here. This is a grounding mudra, an energy seal in the body to help you feel more centered, to bring you back to the self, to realign in moments of heightened stress or anxiety. And knowing that you can continue with that calming breath through your whole practice. Let it guide you here on the mat so that you are better prepared to be centered and in alignment when you walk off the mat today. Breathing deep. Trusting this moment and trusting yourself. Beautiful. Let one hand come all the way to the earth and lift the other arm up and overhead, coming into a side stretch. Any kind of side stretch will do. You can always have the hand on the hip, arm extended up and over, even coming all the way down to that forearm. Whatever you're doing though, prioritizing that those thighs, those legs stay firmly rooted to the earth. I wouldn't want to come all the way down here if I were tipping. I'd want to realign, keeping the body in its integrity to keep it safe. Because how we move in this world matters, and how we move on the mat matters. Inhale to come all the way through to center. And exhale, exploring that side stretch on the other side. And sinking into something that feels right, finding something that's going to help that calm in the body. With those exhales, letting your body know it's okay to soften. Oftentimes, when we're feeling triggered or upset, our muscles become more rigid. This is our opportunity to rewrite that and to soften everything, because the calm lives in those soft edges of life. Inhale to return back to center. Exhale to twist. Look out past the back shoulder. So one hand floats behind you to prop you up, allowing you to lift and lengthen through the crown, while the other hand comes to either rest on the top of the opposite leg or to grab the outside of that leg and help you twist a little bit more as you look out past the back shoulder. Deep breaths here. And remembering this is a safe space for sighs, moans, groans. Our movements can have a voice. Our release of breath can have a voice. And giving it this allows it to come to its fullest fruition, getting the most of this moment. One more breath cycle here. And then inhale to return to center. Exhale to journey on to the other side. Keeping that length through the spine and exhaling, softening those shoulders down the back body and looking out past that back shoulder. Remembering that calming breath, using that inhale to breathe in what you need most in this moment. And the exhale to release what is no longer serving you. Knowing that these things are not just things, these tools are not just tools that we use on the mat, but that we can bring with us everywhere in life. Inhaling to return to center, this time coming forward onto hands and knees. So knees stacked under hips, hands stacked under elbows here, and belly button tucked up and in. So you're sort of connecting to that energy center of the body, that Uddiyana Bandha, that fire in the belly, right? Connecting to your core. That's a pretty common term. That's all the same work here. Tucking that belly button up and in. Nice flat back from the tip of the tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. Remembering that the neck is a part of the spine. Breathing deep here. And then inhale, tilt the pelvis, drop the belly, open the heart, lift the crown. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the pelvis, crown of the head falls towards the earth. Inhaling to open everything up, choosing positivity, choosing trust. And exhale to round, return home knowing in your heart of hearts that we are all doing our best. Once again, inhaling, opening up, shoulder blades slide closer together on the back body. Exhale, let those shoulders come apart as you round the spine and drop the crown. 2 more breath cycles here, following your own breath, letting your own divine timing guide you in your practice. And then inhaling to return to center, sitting back on the heels here. So bringing the knees to be the width edges of the mat, toes to touch, and we're gonna gently segue into our restorative poses here. So bringing that bolster or pillows right up into the thighs as far as it's able to go, and sitting up nice and tall through the crown. So that same length here. Big deep breath in through the nose, breathing in that calm, letting it imbue every fiber of your being. As you exhale, hinging forward from the hips. So I'm keeping that nice flat back here still. Hands come to the earth, and then gently round everything, guiding yourself down to the bolster, one side of the face here. One. Surrendering here, choosing if you want to keep your hands on either side of the bolster, if you want to tuck and hug them underneath. Knowing that we stay in restorative poses longer. The idea being that we quiet the body often in our yoga practice, but this allows us, by sinking and melting in and being supported with the props here, we can quiet the mind as well. Big deep breath in here, and turning just the head to point and look in the other direction now. Inhale to bring your awareness back to the space and your body in it. Slide your hands back under your shoulders and gently press and make your way back up to an upright position. Pausing here to take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Being gentle with the self as you change your orientation here. So the name of the game here with restorative yoga is that it is so gentle, so loving, so compassionate. All right, sliding that bolster or pillows now up towards the top end of your mat. and grabbing one of your blankets here, folded, and then scooch yourself. So you're facing the short edge of your mat here, and you're bringing that bolster right up to the side of the hip here. Take that blanket and rest it between the legs here, creating a little bit of space. And then sitting up nice and tall, lifting through the crown, shoulders mounted and relaxed down the back body. Exhale, twist, facing that bolster now, hands on either side of it. And then gently bringing yourself down into a supported and restorative side stretch. Side of the head comes to rest comfortably here. With each exhale, softening a little bit more as you release something that is keeping you from tapping into that centered and aligned state of being. Taking a nice big deep breath in here, beginning to allow those eyes to flutter open, breathing out, fully integrating back into the space, and then inhaling to press up, returning to an upright state, pausing here, no quick movements, honoring the body and giving it time to adjust, moving from a place of compassionate understanding and trust. Now bringing that bolster to the other side of the mat here, scooching into the center, bringing it right up to the other side of the hips, bending those knees once again with the blanket in between them. Inhale, nice big deep breath in, lifting and lengthening. Exhaling to twist and turn, facing that bolster. And slowly lowering yourself down to the other side here for your restorative twist on the other side of the body. Choosing if you're going to keep your hands on either side of the bolster or tuck them under. allowing the eyes to soften and relaxing the muscles of the face, softening the brow line, unhinging the mouth, and allowing the tongue to relax all the way down to the bottom of the mouth. Inhaling in a nice big breath, breathing in that awareness and trust, coming from a loving and compassionate space, breathing out, and then sliding those hands back under the shoulders and pressing back up to a seated position. Pausing here, allowing yourself to feel the flow of blood change direction in the body. Beautiful. You can take that blanket out from in between your legs and then roll it up like a sausage. Okay, set that off to the side for a moment and then turn so you're facing the long edge of your mat again, and your back is right up, the spine is right up against the back of that bolster. Lift the knees up off the earth a little bit and slide that blanket under the knees. Sitting up nice and tall here, the feet can stay relaxed. Big breath in and exhale, slowly lower yourself over that bolster back behind you. Now, depending on the height of the bolster or the pillows, depending on the length of your torso, the shape of your body, you may want to slide your prop back a little bit to see if it would be more comfortable. It's worth it to take the time in these postures to set yourself up to be as relaxed as possible so that you can get the most from this time. Bringing the arms out side to side in a V, and bringing that awareness back to the breath. Using that exhale to soften everything. And allowing a sense of calm to melt over your whole body here as you open your heart and lead from a place of love. Inhaling in, beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes here. Exhaling, grounding down into the space. With that next inhale, gently roll onto the side here, pausing for an exhale. And then with that next breath in, gently and lovingly making your way up to an upright position. Once again, taking that moment to settle and adjust with a breath cycle, knowing there's no need to rush in this space. We have the permission to fully embody each moment. What a gift. All right, move that blanket off to the side. And then you can grab your blocks here, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. The legs will come out side to side like a diamond. Place those blocks underneath your thighs, making sure that your tush is tucked right up against that bolster still, or maybe just a little bit in front of, if that's what you found was more comfortable for you in your last pose. Big breath in, lifting through the crown, and exhale to once again soften. So we're staying with this heart opener, but it's also a hip opener as well now, with the adding on the legs. Palms rotate up as you soften and surrender into the support of your props here. Knowing that if everyone is doing their best at all times with the information and tools they have, you have also been doing your best. Even if things don't go as planned, you have the opportunity to try again every day. And with every breath cycle you take, each inhale an opportunity to rewrite your story and to move forward in an empowered and calm way. On the next inhale in, breathing in, coming back to the space around you. Taking your hand to the edge of the outer left leg, bringing it all the way over to meet the right and rolling onto the side of the body here. Gentling that transition to sitting upright. And then pressing that left hand to the earth and gently making your way back up to a comfortable seated position. Moving any blocks or props you have on the mat out of the way here as we prepare for Shavasana. So because this is restorative Shavasana, we want it to be super yummy, and taking a few minutes to set up here. I like to place a blanket underneath me to cushion the spine. But also this could be a nice place to add another layer or place a blanket on top of you. And then taking that rolled blanket that you used under the legs before in your last pose, once again, under the knees here, gently lowering the self all the way down to the earth. And then if you want, you can grab the outer edges of the mat right where the neck is, pull it up just a little bit, and get a little support and cushion under the neck as well. Fully embodying a posture that you can surrender into, allowing the gifts of your practice to be integrated into the body so you can create lasting change in your life. Your next inhale, beginning to wiggle the fingers and toes once again. And asking yourself if there's any last stretches you need to take here. Gentle movements that will bring the body into harmony and alignment, making it easier to drop into that sense of calm and trust. Before rolling on to the right side of the body, curling into a little ball, using that right arm as a pillow for the head, both easing the transition to a seated position once again, but also to bring the organs of the body into alignment as you soak up the last benefits of your Shavasana in this practice. Whenever you are ready, knowing that you can rest in this space as long as you need to, pressing into that left hand and making your way all the way up to a comfortable seated position of your choosing. I'm going to use this folded blanket as my prop to sit on this time. Sitting up nice and tall through the crown and using an inhale to bring the hands to heart center or to place one hand on top of the other over the heart. And we will close our practice with 3 ohms today, connecting to that sound of the universe being created, that perfect moment when all of that is in our world came into being. Big, deep breath in through the nose. Oh. Oh. One more. Oh. my wish for you on this day and every day that follows: peace of body, peace of heart, and peace of mind. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining this restorative and gentle class today, focused on bringing the body into a calm state of being through the divine trust that we are all just doing our best here. My name is Kaylin McCarthy, and I am an instructor for Kaleidoscope Me, and I hope to see you again soon. Take care.